What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the channel Blunt Reaction. Today we're going to be reacting to the 1993 motion picture film Free Willy. Now, I've seen Free Willy. I saw it probably when it barely came out in 1993. I know we owned it on VHS. I never really liked it. I must have seen it just that one time, and that was it. I never really was interested in it. I saw the 2, maybe even saw the 3, but vaguely. Maybe my parents rented it Saturday night one day and threw it on, and I just kind of just watched a little bit of it, but I was not a big fan. So I ran into the movie. I don't know why. I think I saw a YouTube video about killer whales. Boom. Got into Netflix, checked if the movie was there, and it was. It was on Netflix, so I threw it on. Sunday, Lazy Sunday. Watched it, and I mean, I liked it in overall, but there was a lot of reacting to it. So, for those that don't know, let me give you a little plot of what the movie's about. Pretty much, it starts off with this 12-year-old, 10 or 12-year-old kid named Jesse. He's homeless. Apparently, his mom left him when he was 6 or something at an orphanage. He's just running around with a couple of friends, They sneak into this amusement park in the middle of the night. They start tagging, and Jesse is the only one that gets caught. Now, the conditions of his probation is for him to help out with the cleaning of the mess that him and his friends made. Upon doing all this cleaning, he befriends Willy, the killer whale. Now, Willy's backstory, I guess, from the movie goes as he was captured at a large age or at an older age. Apparently, from what I got from the movie, you're not allowed to capture fully grown whales. You're supposed to capture them at a young age so that they're able to learn how to live in a tank or whatnot. So anyways, Willy, he was captured as a big whale, so he's not responding to any of the trainers. He's not doing anything that he was supposed to do to this amusement park, which was bringing crowds to the Willy show. The owner of Willy, the owner of the amusement park as well, he starts seeing Willy as a bad investment per se. So he's pretty much trying to get rid of Willy or sell him or do whatever the heck. But the amusement park convinced them after they see Jesse working with Willy and doing all these moves and how Willy listens to Jesse. They convinced him to give it a try, and they're gonna have Jesse perform in the shows or be the trainer in the shows or whatnot. It's summer, he ain't got school, so I guess he's free. So what happens next is Willy's not having it. There's the kids banging on the glass. I don't know why there's no signs, don't bang on glass. I've seen it. I'm from San Diego. I've been to the zoo. I've been to SeaWorld. Many signs, many people telling you not to bang on the glass to the animals. So whatever were the case, it's early 1993, so kids are banging on the glass. Willy's getting irritated. He's not listening to Jesse. He's not doing anything that he's supposed to do. Pretty much the show is a tragedy. It's just a bad show. So upon that happening, the owner of the amusement park and Willy, I guess, sent some people to like make a crack on Willy's tank so that it leaks water overnight. Therefore, when they wake up in the morning, there's no more water in the tank accidentally, and Willy's dead, and he could claim the $1 million insurance bond. Jesse somehow finds out about this. I think he snuck out. So he goes out there and sees what's going on. And this is where it just gets insane. He wakes up. There's this Native American, I guess, that works there, for lack of better words. I think he's like the maintenance guy. I'm not sure what his real role is there exactly, if they even specified it in the movie. But what he's kind of there just as like he's just taking care of the whole amusement park, I guess. He lives there for some reason. And I guess after Jesse sees this, he wakes him up and tells him that what's happening, and says that they gotta free Willy. And this guy's like probably like 50, in his 50s. His only remark is, "I don't even like this job. Let's do it." Whatever. They take Willy out of the tank, put him in this trailer, but they need the truck to be able to push this whale. Again, this 50-some-year-old man, Randolph was his name, I believe, agrees to steal Jesse's foster dad, foster father, foster parent, foster dad truck, because I guess he's like a rigger or he hauls trucks or whatnot. I don't know what it is. The foster dad is actually Michael Madison. Somehow he's still able to be fucking cool as fuck in this fucking film. Ends up punching some guy or some shit. So he's cool. He gets his truck stolen. They end up getting trapped somewhere in the road. I guess a tire. They're almost falling off a cliff apparently, because they're going in such a narrow road. So Jesse has to call Michael Madison to the freaking rescue. Yes, sir. Michael Madison shows up, saves it, boom, boom, gets the truck out of the ditch, drives to the ocean. Apparently it was pretty far because that whole thing was like in the midnight. And by the time they get to the ocean, it's morning. It looks like it's about 7 or something. So they must have driven for a few hours or so. Anyways, they get there and I don't know why the owner's there with a couple of tough guys covering the door to the dock. I don't know why he wouldn't call the cops. I have no idea why the cops wouldn't even be there, but they're not. Maybe he's afraid that the insurance fraud. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to handle it himself. Anyways, Michael Madison's badass Michael Madison just runs right through the damn gate, almost kills these people. That's another crime he committed. Breaks the gate, backs up the truck, throws Willy in. Willy's dying now because he ain't been in water for like hours, so he's weak, whatnot. So they're trying to get him to get off. A brawl breaks out where Michael Madison is just beating everybody's ass. God, I fucking love Michael Madison. So he freaking so finally Willy gets out of the trailer. He starts swimming, but the only exit from the dock to the ocean is being blocked by whale catchers that were hired by, again, the owner of Willy. I guess he had a whole plan set up and shit. I don't know how he made it there before them. I guess they're pulling a whale. He's not, so he must have gone faster. Hiding and see him on the side of the road in the middle of the freeway. Whatever. Not part of the story. So anyways, Willy can't get out. Therefore, Jesse runs to this, I guess, rocky pier. And that is where you see the famous Willy jump over the kid scene. And Willy escapes. Now, Free Willy 2, I don't know how it didn't take place in prison because, first and foremost, Jesse's already on probation. So, I mean, I'm sure he's going to go back, got to have some explanation to his PO, so he's probably going to go do some juvie time. Randolph, we're going to save him for that. Michael Madsen, I guess he's guilty. I mean, he got his truck stolen, so he's guilty of just driving his foster son to the ocean. I'm sure he probably do some time, maybe, or at least probation. I don't know, depending on the judge. Rhea, the marine biologist, she's probably losing her license, possibly on jail, for sure probation or something. But for sure, she career's over. She's probably gonna start selling freaking hot dogs at SeaWorld from then on. I don't know. But Randolph, I think this guy is the heavy of the court. I think he's probably going to be doing the most time out of everybody. Probably the only one doing time out of everybody, honestly. Not just because he's Native American. But, I mean, he did the most out of all this. He stole the whale, stole the truck, and broke many, many more laws, I'm sure, through the process. But anyways, it gets crazier. It gets crazier because that was just the end of the movie. That was just my questions at the end of the movie, like, why isn't anybody in jail? But here's what really happened after the end of the movie in real life. So Free Willy was a big 1993 film. Came out in June. It was a big hit. It was a box office hit. It killer whales associations, pretty much anything to do with whales just blew up at that moment. People had their eyes on whales, save the whales, protect the whales. God, they blew up. Not to mention that they had Michael Jackson on the soundtrack singing "Will You Be There." So just that's pretty much what I remember mostly of the VHS movie, because I think at the end of the movie they would play the music video. So I remember just always just hold me a little bit, hold me. So it was a good song. It was a good song. I don't know how they got Michael Jackson in that shit, but they got him. That's probably where most of the budget went, but nonetheless. So upon this film being released, and this is where it gets funny because I feel like the directors and the writers kind of shot themselves in the foot right here, because a Free Willy slash Keiko. Keiko's the name of the real whale. Let me just go back. Keiko's the name of the real whale. Pretty much this whale was in an amusement park in Mexico, and that's where it was found for the acting and stuff. But anyways, back to it. So the foundation was created, Free Willy slash Keiko. Now this was a bunch of organizers that just got together and just pretty much just started fighting, picketing, and just going to court and making legal issues to free Willy slash Keiko, the real whale. And it took some years, but finally Keiko was scheduled to be released. So they trained them, there was a lot of controversy about releasing this whale because it's been in captivity for over 20 years, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you can't just free a whale that's been in captivity for 20 years. I mean, it happens with humans. When you get see a man institutionalized, he's done 30 years. You want to free him to the society, he's probably going to want to go back to prison. Like, that's all he knows. He wants his 3 meals a day. I don't even know if little Gecko's gonna be able to catch fish, apparently, because that's what my mom said when I asked her about some birds. So I was like, why don't you just release them? She's like, no, they'll get killed. They won't know how to find their own food. I don't know how real that is, but that was her answer to that. So the releasing gets scheduled. So let me remind you, this guy was living in Mexico City in a tank where the water is probably warm. I mean, you got trainers swimming in there, so it's got to be at least warm enough for humans to be able to just swim around and have some fun and splash around. They released Keiko in 2002 in the waters of Iceland. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but sadly enough, a year later, Keiko dies of pneumonia. I mean, little guy froze to death. He ain't never been. He was born in those waters, lived there for 2 years, and the rest of his life he's living in temperate water. I don't know whose call was that. Bad call. Anyways, Free Willy's done a lot for whales since then. There's a lot of organizations and foundations protecting these whales. We've seen the documentary Blackfish. I don't even think they show these shows anymore in SeaWorld, at least not in San Diego. I don't know if in other cities. I'm sure other countries still do it, but I know San Diego, they don't do that anymore. They canceled the Free Willy show, or whatever it was called, Keiko show. And so, I mean, things happen for a reason. So that happened, whether he died or not. He helped out a lot, and we got a lot of understanding of these whales now. So for what it was, the movie itself, it was a good film. I mean, as for kids, for adults too, I mean, it's enjoyable. It's got some plots and twists and shit. It's fun. I'd give this movie, we're gonna grade it. We're gonna give it a 1 blunt out of 5. So there you have it. Free Willy, 1993. 1 blunt out of 5. Thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it. Subscribe, like. Talk to you later.